Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to this is day 5 now.
Yeah.
We missed day 4 because we were travelling from Zakopane up to Krakow. It was a bit of a interesting drive up. I'm not sure I would recommend that taxi company. Um, and then we needed a nap afterwards, so we didn't really do very much yesterday, so we haven't done any filming. But today we are doing a bit of a tour of Krakow. We are following an audio guide tour, which is why we're here, which is of the route that the kings used to take through Krakow. So we are going to be following the route. It mostly goes through Old Town, and hopefully gets in most of the sites from Old Town. So we are starting at St Florian's Church.
It's about one of the oldest places of worship in the city.
Is it 1185?
1185, yeah.
1185. So I will add in some highlights from the church. Not allowed to, well, didn't seem like we were able to talk in the church.
There was quite a lot of people
worshipping,
so it was we just did a quick little tour around. Yeah.
It was where I'm going to get the Pope wrong. The Pope that's from Krakow. It was one of his first.
St John Paul.
St John Paul. It was one of the first places where he was a not vicar, priest. Yeah, one of the first places where he was a priest. So it's quite a popular spot for worship. And yeah, and it's one of the oldest. So
yeah,
that's where we're starting. So I'll add some bits in now, and we're going to make our way to point 2. So this is the Basilica of St Florian. It's built in 1185, and it is the start of our route. This is the Grunwald Monument. It was built as a symbol to withstanding oppression. The war that it was commemorating was around about 600 years ago, and this monument was built in the earliest 20th century. It was then destroyed in 1939 by the Nazis as it was a symbol of withstanding oppression, and then was rebuilt in the 70s.
But it was rebuilt exactly as it was originally.
So we're going to move on to point 3. The app that I'm using is a free app, and the walking tour is free as well. So I will put a link to the app. Seems fairly good so far. We are only about to start point 3, but I will put a link in for it. So this is the Barbican. This was built in the late 15th century, and essentially is an outpost, or was an outpost, for security. It's got about, I think they said 135 points where they can have archers and...
You see all the little portholes or...
Yeah.
Portholes. I don't really know. Not really. Should really have done medieval structure.
So...
Says the walls are about 3 metres thick.
Yeah, the walls are 3 metres thick, and it's offset slightly from Florian's Gate, which is our next stop just over here, so that they were able to see what was going on without the Barbican blocking the view. So we will head on round to the other side. It is a circular structure. Apparently the locals call it the saucepan. So it was initially surrounded by a moat. And this was never captured.
Yeah.
So there was initially a drawbridge that joined this point here to the main city walls. Apparently there's quite often exhibitions in here, but it doesn't look like there's anything going on at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty closed at the moment.
It's very well preserved.
Yeah. So it would have been connected along here by a drawbridge to Florian's Gate, which is our next stop. So this is the route we're doing, the royal route.
Yeah,
So
this is
we're now at St Florian's Gate, and we started at St Florian's Church.
Lovely building.
So this is St Florian's Gate. The earliest stonework is apparently from the end of the 13th century, so it's extremely old. But it was destroyed and rebuilt in around 1700, I believe. So this is part of the city's defence. Here's the walls. Oh, there's a statue, a model here. So they were saying that the Barbican actually would have been, this would have been more ground level right here. There was a moat, but due to the way that the city has been built up, it now goes down. Oh, this is good. This is, there's braille, so this is for blind people, so that they can feel what it looks like. That's fantastic. There's braille on the side.
I don't know if it'd be Polish.
Probably, but it's still good that you can feel what it looks like. So we will go through the gate. So this is the way that royals would have come into the city. And there is an altar. Finland is a very strong Catholic country, isn't it? As with most modern cities now, plenty of modern coffee shops and McDonald's.
Hamburger restaurants.
Hamburger restaurants. Yeah, we're just coming down from St Florian's Gate now.
This is St Florian Street.
Probably, because we've come from St Florian's Basilica down to St Florian's Gate.
St Florian was the patron saint of Poland,
He's now the patron saint of firefighters.
Yeah.
Tim is just getting a coffee in an extremely Polish coffee shop. And then we will be heading to St Mary's Basilica, which is just down here. It's our next stop. Just wait for Tim to get some coffee. This is St Mary's Basilica. And Tim wants to tell the story that we've just heard.
So they were constructed by two brothers, and they had basically had a competition to build and finish the towers. And that's why they both look different, especially at the top. But then the story did take a bit of a twist. The brother who completed the water tower.
The mayor or somebody offered his daughter in marriage to the one that would finish the most intricate and the tower first. So then the brother who was building the shortest tower saw that his other brother was building a better tower than him, and what did he do?
He stabbed him.
He stabbed him, he killed him. And then
he continued to finish his tower.
Which is the rounded one on the right.
But on completion of that tower, throughout remorse, he basically threw himself off.
Yeah. So both brothers
holding the knife that he stabbed his brother with. However, there is also the fact that the taller tower was used for the water tower over the city.
Well, that story's not quite as interesting.
To be taller than the other one anyway, otherwise it wouldn't be able to see the city. You can go up in the summer.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these things are open April to October.
You can also go in church. There is a fee.
Yeah, I'm going to go and have a look. So apparently the main doors are, which I'm assuming are these doors, just past this van, who seem to be taking a part of water.
It's a well. They're fixing it. So it looks like it's in the
Anyway,
sorry.
So the main doors are open for worship, and then apparently there's a side door for tourists. So I'm gonna go and find out and see how much it is.
Except the tickets are sold in a separate building.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and have a look.
Right.
So this door says for prayer only. It's saying to go on this side to the visitor centre. That might be the visitor centre. So the tower is closed for winter break. Visiting hours are 11:30. It's 10:45, so it's not open yet. So I might come back later. So St Mary's Basilica is on the Market Square, which is the oldest medieval market square in Europe. And in the centre of the square is the cloth hall, which is where we'll be going in a moment. There's apparently a legend about these pigeons. There's pigeons everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere. There's apparently a legend that they were soldiers who were turned into pigeons until Poland returned to the Polish people. They seem to have been occupied quite a lot.
What, Poland?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Not just by the Nazis.
Not just by the Nazis. Many times over the centuries. Quite a lot by the Russians, and the Prussians, and the Austrians. So this monument over here is a guy called Mickiewicz, who was a symbol. He was a poet, and he was a symbol for Polish independence. He was born in Belarus and lived in France most of his life.
Yeah.
But
he's buried here.
He's buried here and is a symbol. Again, this monument was destroyed by the Nazis. in 1940 and then was rebuilt in the 50s. Exactly how it was before, I believe.
Apparently this square has risen by 5 metres.
Yeah, so over the years since it was built in the 14th century,
Yeah.
it has risen by
Most of
5
these
metres.
buildings are more modern.
Oh yeah, mostly they're more like
But
Georgian
you can
Baroque.
tell from the church, because there is almost like a moat around the church,
Yeah.
where you can see the original, or goes further down to the original church floor level.
So this market square, most market squares in Europe, surrounded by cafes and restaurants, lots of which have got terraces. Most of them have got like those heating fires as well, which is what you need at the moment. And there are lots of people trying to sell us tours. So we are going to head into the cloth market hall in a second, which was the only place they were allowed to sell cloth in Krakow. It was built.
So, legend has it that is a knife said brother stabbed said other brother
And then launched
tower,
himself off the tower with
and then launched him off the tower. However, it could be legend. It could just be, to be honest, it just looks like a kitchen knife,
does look like a kitchen knife.
a rusty kitchen knife. Apparently, the original one was stolen during the war.
So this was originally just 2 rows of shops. This was originally just 2 rows of shops, which then got built into a proper building, which burnt down in, I think it was the 17th century.
It's burnt down and then destroyed several times.
Yeah. So it's been rebuilt. It's now 2 floors. So there's the market hall down the bottom, and then there's an art gallery upstairs.
There is also a basement level which has got a museum.
Yeah. Which was probably ground level if we're 5 metres above the
Yeah,
ground.
that's what they were saying in the that would have been the original ground level. But, where we were sat outside the church, there was a pyramid, glass pyramid. That's let light into the.
Ah, okay. It was covered in Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
So this was the town hall,
However, this bit doesn't exist anymore. Only the tower remains.
and like much of what we're discovering in Krakow. Sorry, they're taking apart some market things over there. The top of it's been replaced multiple times.
Yeah, but
It
only
kept
the
being
tower-
struck
only the
by
tower-
lightning.
This is only the third element. And apparently there was a fire, and the fire actually caused it to lean. Now they've corrected it a little bit, but apparently if you look up, you can still see a slight lean. But
I don't know. I can't see. I like these though, that you can feel and you can actually see what it used to look like. This is the Church of St. Adalbert. It was from the 11th century, but again, got rebuilt. It seems like in the Baroque period they rebuilt quite a lot of things. So it's built in the Baroque style. And we're going to be heading off of the square now. So there's St. Mary's. We're going to be heading down this road here. So this is the Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi. Apparently it is very beautiful inside, but it's mass at the moment, so we can't go inside. But it is one of the actual surviving. This hasn't been rebuilt multiple times. So this is an example of Gothic architecture in Poland. So we're going to move on to the next spot as soon as we can't go in.
Wiesz, jak on tam
The Holy Trinity Church. It was rebuilt after the Mongol invasion in 1241. So the porch was rebuilt after a fire in the 1850s. So we've apparently deviated slightly from the royal route. We're heading down here to rejoin it. A lot of these basilicas don't seem to be open. Oh, we're going the wrong way. Hang on. We're going this way.
It's quite a lot of consulates.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few consulates on here.
The American and the German consulate.
So we are heading this way, I believe. Yeah, a lot of these basilicas don't seem to be open. I don't know whether it's because it's hold season, as it seems to be called, or whether we're just here at the wrong time and it's mass. We're going this way. Krakow seems to have pretty good public transport, and it's also extremely cheap. I believe it was 4 zloty for a journey when I looked it up. So that's around about 80p. We're going to take a right down this road here, so we need to cross over. Tim? Tim! This is Church of St. Peter and Paul, built in the 17th century.
Some people think that there's some hubs, and they find some strong
This is St Andrew's Church, which is from the 11th century. One of the oldest surviving buildings in Krakow. Withstood the Mongol raid of 1241.
No, I can't remember.
So there's a nun apparently in this church that essentially haunts the church and is seen as an apparition. So we're on Sukiennice Street, which is one of the oldest streets in Krakow. And there's lots of stories about lots of these houses, but my favourite one is number 21. There was a priest who was said to be so pious that the devil tried to haunt him by sending a cat to knock things over in the night. Which I think is quite funny, because we have cats and they just knock things over in the night all the time. But he defeated the devil, and there's apparently a hole in the wall where he sent him packing. This is the castle, which we'll come to in a moment. We're going to find somewhere for a lunch stop though. I hear a horse. There are lots of horse-drawn carriage tours around.
Zakonu krzyżackiego. W zeszłym roku znajdą, że zawsze opowiadałem, że mamy idealnie 500 lat od tego momentu, kiedy wielki mistrz klęczał przed królem na rynku.
So this is the view from the walls of the castle, Wawel Castle. So we're within the walls of Wawel Castle. This is Wawel Cathedral. You're not allowed to film or take any photos inside. We're not going to go in today. Beautiful cathedral. And then there's lots of different sections of the castle. All of them require a different ticket. So I think we're just going to go for a wander around the castle. And apparently there's a fire-breathing dragon. So we're going to go on a hunt for this fire-breathing dragon. These look like very old walls. It looks like they're doing some excavation down here. I think there's some information. We're going to have a look. Until they've had a very short, warm winter, all the crocuses are starting to pop up. Yes, it is an excavation project. The information's all in Polish, so I've just been having a look using the Google Translate Lens app, which has been fantastic during this trip. So they've been excavating for quite a long time, since the late 40s. Yeah, it's another very old church from the 13th century. It's currently being excavated. Some battlements up here. Sort of a circular, going around a square circle, turns the cathedral. There's a little cafe over there, which is where we've just had some lunch. And the ticket office, I think, for the castle rather than the cathedral, is just over here. And we are heading to try and find this fire-breathing dragon. The signpost says the Dragon's Den. We found the dragon. The Dragon's Den looks like it's a separate attraction that's ticketed, but the ticket booth is closed, so I don't know if it's open today. We're not actually sure how we get down here from where we are on the castle walls.
I think we need to go back where we came. Or go around that way or something.
Well, we can probably see him from up here.
Just be drinking.
Do you think it's like the one at Hogwarts that you see, not Hogwarts, at Diagon Alley, that you see the pilot light first, so you know when it's going to start?
I think so.
So this was installed in 1972. It honours a local legend about a monster slain by a shoemaker. He typically breathes every 5 to 10 minutes. They increase it during popular times. So dragons are popular in Krakow due to the 13th century legend that the Wawel dragon, Smok. Isn't Smok the dragon from The Hobbit? No, I think he's Small. A beast that terrorised the city from a cave under Wawel Hill until a shoemaker killed it. Which is what this is. So there's this fire-breathing statue, an annual parade, and numerous dragon-themed souvenirs and landmarks. According to folklore, a dragon lived in a cave at the foot of Wawel Hill and demanded cattle, or in some tales, young women. A cobbler named Scuba defeated it by filling a sheepskin with sulphur, causing the dragon to burst after drinking too much water from the Vistula River. So in the dragon's den, there are bones which were believed to be from the dragon, but are actually mammoth whale and woolly rhinoceros. So he's supposed to go off every 5 to 10 minutes, and we've now been filming for 10 minutes.
Should we take a wander?
I think we're going to have to take a wander. Here he is from behind. He still hasn't gone off though. I thought that guided tour was really good.
Yeah.
Particularly for a free.
I was expecting it to be. It had some good stories and some sort of legend and some history. And Krakow is a city. It's got a lot of history.
It has got a lot of history. It's been invaded a lot.
Yep.
A lot of things have burnt down and been rebuilt multiple times. I was a bit disappointed we didn't get to see the dragon breathing fire, but we waited about a quarter of an hour.
I don't know what was up with him.
No, he's supposed to go off every 5 to 10 minutes, so I think something was going on. So yeah, I highly recommend that tour. I'll put the link for it. And we're going to go and find me some shoes.
Yep, off to go and find shoes.
So we're going to get the tram towards the shopping centre, and for a standard ticket it was £4 zloty each, which for the two of us worked out as £1.63. Bristol, why is your public transport so expensive? That was super easy. That saved us a 35-minute walk to get to the shopping centre. Market Square looks very pretty in night time. Lit up. Please fan over there. And there's results. We just had dinner at the Hard Rock.
Very touristy.
Yeah, we tend to go to most Hard Rocks wherever we are. The food is the same everywhere. I'm very sure the menus are identical.
I had chicken tenders
And I have my barbecue burger, which is the same as what I have everywhere. It's always good. It's always nice music. And
yeah, and it was a little bit changed. I've been here for a week, so when we're not eating pork, it makes it a little bit more limiting what you can have on off menus here. So,
yeah, Poland,
nice
they eat quite a lot of pork here.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of pork on the menu. But we'll be eating probably Polish dinner for probably the rest of the week. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're going to end this here. So this is the end of day 5. Tomorrow we are going to Auschwitz, which I believe I'm not allowed to film in.
Well, we're not. I don't think we don't feel it's suitable
No.
appropriate to film that.
No.
Sometimes the day after we have got a little trip off to the salt mines.
Yes. So stay tuned, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.